Craig Poland, Scout Executive for National Capital Area Council. It's great to see everybody this evening. Thanks for joining us virtually. We're recognizing a great group of volunteers this evening, which include our annual Silver Beaver class and some other very special award recipients. I'd like to offer my personal congratulations to each of them for the incredible impact they've had on scouting. I think it's safe to say this has been an unusual time for our world and for scouting, and specifically as it relates to scouting, our program has always taught young people to build friendships, get outdoors, and help other people in need. Then overnight, we had to tell everyone the best way to help their community was to stay home and avoid other people. It was a shock, to say the least. Over the spring and summer, we had to cancel just about every single traditional program. It seemed the only reason I ever spoke to anyone was to tell them the activity they'd been looking forward to for over a year wasn't going to happen. In what seemed like a single heartbeat, our local scouts went from planning trips to the mountains of Philmont Scout Ranch in New Mexico and to the clear waters of Camp Wall in St. Croix to literally squinting at each other through Zoom calls. For a while, I wasn't sure there'd be a scouting program left to come back to. But you know what our scouts did? They rose to the occasion and they exceeded all of our expectations. In one united voice, they said, "We are not letting a global pandemic stop us from doing what scouts do." And then they stepped up and they started making a difference. For example, Star Scout Cole Thomas in Huntingtown, Maryland saw the river near his house had a whole bunch of old tires in it. So one afternoon he grabbed his dad and they started collecting them. By the time they were done, they pulled over 300 tires from the Chesapeake waterway. Or the young men and women of Crew 1785, they said, "We can't go door to door collecting food, so we'll just create a drive-through food collection program." Thanks to their creativity, they collected over 700 pounds of food for pantries in Mechanicsville, Maryland. And finally, how about soon-to-be Eagle Scout Adrian Allred? He saw firefighters were having trouble assisting people with autism and anxiety, so he designed and built help kits that are now on every single fire engine in Fairfax County. See, this is what scouts do. They don't just stand around and wait for somebody to give them a job. When they see someone in need, they go and they help. And to me, that's not just being a good scout or a good citizen, that's being a hero. Our honorees this evening have demonstrated similar resolve through their extraordinary support of scouting locally. For over 110 years, scouting has taught the young men and women of this country citizenship, respect, leadership, responsibility, and duty to others. We know from independent national research that scouts are more likely than their non-scout peers to value education, value the environment, be more spiritual, be closer to their families, and value difference. And these are true characteristics of heroes. We need heroes now more than ever before. We need leaders and healthcare workers, scientists, builders, business leaders, caretakers, scout volunteers, good neighbors, and good parents to guide our nation. We all need to set examples our kids will be proud to follow. President Ronald Reagan said in 1981, "Those who say that we are in a time where there are no longer heroes just don't know where to look." He was correct then, and he'd be correct now. If we've learned anything at all from COVID, it's there are heroes all around us. And I'm proud to tell you our scouts are demonstrating their willingness to take action today, and they will be prepared to lead in the future. And they're learning all of this from outstanding leaders, just like the ones we're recognizing this evening. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for all you're doing to keep scouting alive and well in our communities. Stay safe and stay scouting.
Joshua P. Batten, William Bowerman IV, Kevin Patrick Brendel, Hugh David Carmichael, John T. Caldwell III, Teresa Garcia Parks, Kenneth W. Gall, G. Keith Gray, Christian Sean Griggs, James Harder, William Stahl Helmsley,
Good evening. My name is William Roger, and I am chair of the NCAC Conservation Committee. This evening, we recognize 4 Scouters who have distinguished themselves in the field of conservation. The first 3 are recipients of the William T. Hornaday Gold Badge. The Gold Badge is awarded by the local council to an adult Scouter or venturing leader who has demonstrated leadership and a commitment to the education of youth. Our first badge recipient is John Wiltonmuth. His list of honors is far too long for this brief presentation, but he's been a continuing supporter and promoter of environmental education within the Mattaponi District and BSA for the last 13 years. He also served as a staff on 2 national events. He was a squad leader for AeroCorps 5 and on the environmental and conservation staff of the 2010 National Jamboree. John has been an advisor or consultant on over 30 Eagle projects, many of which have supported local conservation efforts. We are delighted to present the Hornaday Gold Badge to John Wiltonmuth. We also recognize Carol Wilson, another tireless volunteer for conservation within the BSA. Over the years, she has advised numerous conservation-related badges such as soil and water conservation, environmental science, sustainability, and more. Carol has co-taught the Hornaday Award course at the NCAC University of Scouting since 2018. She has advised 1 unit to earn the Hornaday Unit Award and helped another scout to earn the badge for youth. Each of her scouts' sons also earned the badge. Carol conducts biological research, including avian migration studies and census data, and has been instrumental in erosion control work at Hidden Pond in Fairfax County. She is a true leader in scouting conservation. Another gold badge recipient, our final one this evening, is Sarah Holtz. Sarah, always indefatigable, has logged more than hours as a conservation volunteer for NCAC and Fairfax County than most of us could imagine, more than 1,000 hours in the past year alone. She has successfully guided 2 scouts to earn the Hornaday Badge and helped more than a dozen troops and packs to earn a unit award for conservation. She is truly a powerhouse within NCAC's conservation efforts. Finally, we present the National Gold Medal for Distinguished Conservation Service to Dr. William Bowerman. The award is the rarest of the rare. The National Committee presents no more than 6 medals any given year, most years only 1. Recipients have, quote, rendered distinguished service and unusual service to natural resource conservation and environmental improvement over a sustained period, typically 20 years or more. Bill has been a member of the Boy Scouts of America as both a youth and adult volunteer for more than 40 years. He is currently Vice President of Outdoor Adventure for the NCAC and a member of the National Subcommittee on Conservation and the Environment. He is a member of the Rotary Club of College Park and District Coordinator for the International Fellowship of Scouting Rotarians. Chair of the Department of Environmental Science and Technology at the University of Maryland. He was also part of the faculty at Clemson University from 1999 to 2011 and was awarded the title of Professor Emeritus of Ecology and Environmental Toxicology in 2012. Bowerman also previously served as the U.S. co-chair of the International Joint Commission Great Lakes Science Advisory Board. He's been studying bald eagle ecology and effects of environmental pollutants on the species in the Great Lakes region since 1984, working with associates at Michigan State University, the U.S. Forest Service, and U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. He has trained more than 400 wildlife professionals and started environmental monitoring programs for bald eagles in the United States and Canada, as well as the white-tailed sea eagle in Sweden, the stellar sea eagle in the Russian Far East, and the African fish eagle in Uganda and South Africa. Bowerman's Bald Eagle Research Project was selected as one of 6 NISA World Explorer projects in 2018. He serves on the NISA World Explorer Committee. He has published more than 90 peer-reviewed papers. He has presented more than 260 papers at local, national, and international gatherings. His awards include the Distinguished Conservationist Award, the National Eagle Scout Association Outstanding Eagle Scout Award, the Silver Beaver, the Bald Eagle Person of the Year Award, and the Bald Eagle Research Award. He is also National Fellow of the Explorers Club. Please then join us in congratulating Dr. Bill Bowerman, recipient of the 2020 Gold Medal for his distinguished conservation service.
First of all, tell me your name.
My name is Will Catholic. I'm a NCAC Eagle Scout and a 2018 Dr. Albert Einstein Gold Supernova recipient. I am proud to be one of the 12 Einstein recipients in the country, and it is during my 17-month Einstein Supernova process that I met Dr. Arden Dugan, who helped me along the way. It was Dr. Dugan, along with the entire Council STEM committee, who further mentored and guided me along the way to earn the Einstein. And I couldn't have done it without their time and effort dedicated to STEM and Scouting. Today, it is my pleasure to, in turn, recognize Dr. Dugan with the NCAC STEM Leader Award, the Silver Breaker. In recent years, BSA developed STEM and Scouting with awards, activities, and even programs like STEM Scouts. The Silver Breaker lets us appreciate the incredible leaders who got us there. Dr. Arden Dugan is a champion for STEM not only in her professional life as a nuclear chemist, but in how she has propelled NCAC forward in STEM. In addition to leading STEM training as the National BSA STEM Committee's Training Subcommittee Chair, she created the annual STEM University at NCAC. As NCAC STEM Committee Chair, she oversees the districts and Supernova Awards and propelled council-level STEM events. She brought STEM Scouts to NCAC in 2018, which is now an official program for girls and boys to explore STEM. During the pandemic, she ensured STEM career exploration continued by curating a digital STEM speaker series. Thank you for your service in STEM and Scouting, Dr. Arden Dugan.
The NCAC Lifetime Achievement Award is presented to an outstanding adult scouter who has demonstrated a desire and commitment to serve the Scouts in the National Capital Area Council. These extraordinary scouters have influenced our council significantly and contributed to the vision, direction, and growth of the scouting community. Our honoree tonight has been with the scouting program for many years. As a youth in the program, they were selected to represent the U.S. contingency in a lunch with King Carl Gustaf XVI of Sweden. As an adult scouter, they provided leadership to scouts as an assistant scoutmaster and to volunteers through serving on national camp staff and wood badge staff. Our honoree has served on numerous district, council, and national level committees, including the National Health and Safety Committee. They are an Eagle Scout, Silver Beaver, and Silver Antelope recipient. On behalf of the National Capital Area Council, we are proud to present Sven Rundman with the NCAC Lifetime Achievement Award.
John Arthur Herbig, Charles Hochstein, John Howland, Howard Joel Lichtman, Paul McDonald, Stanley L. Mushaw, Bradford Netting Scales, William Totten, Hector D. Aranga Urias, John Robert Wilkinson, Andrew D. Willis,
serve as this year's Silver Beaver class honoree. My name is Julia May Shanlesko, and I'm here at the beautiful Camp William B. Snyder. It is my pleasure to congratulate each and every one of you, 22 exceptional Scouters who received the Silver Beaver Award tonight. Let me briefly talk about Scouting, our past, our present, and our future. First, the past. We all have someone to thank in our past for introducing us to Scouting. Each of us has our own story. I was the tag-along little sister to an Eagle Scout brother. My father has been my inspiration in Scouting. He was born in China. There was no Scouting for him to join. When he came to America, he learned about Scouting and he embraced the values of Scouting. He believed in the values of Scouting. He lived the values of Scouting. He instilled the values of the Scout Oath and Law in all of us, his children and his grandson. When my brother started in Cub Scouts, my mom and dad were den leaders and they always had a separate table for me so that I could do everything the boys did. I am so excited that Scouting has evolved into family Scouting. We now have girl dens and girl troops. I was a Girl Scout and an explorer, and my dad was a volunteer for everything. He was a living example for our family and others. I followed my dad's example, and when my son became a Tiger Cub, I was excited to become a Scout leader for his pack. I also followed my dad's example and advice to become a Wood Badge trained leader. From there, I became a volunteer trainer, an arrowman, and a commissioner. I am so grateful for the opportunities that Scouting provides us to share knowledge and skills with other adult leaders and with youth leaders, so we can all work together to make a positive difference in the lives of the youth through Scouting. Each one of you has your own story. Share your stories and spread your love for Scouting to your children and to their children in your communities and to others as you travel across the nation. Always remember to keep your line of sight on the youth and make a positive difference in their lives through Scouting. Now let's talk about the present. Here we are on Zoom. We are celebrating together all your achievements virtually. This year has been a challenge, but we have learned to become resilient, to adapt to social distancing and wearing masks, and to be creative, to continue Scouting while keeping ourselves and others safe under pandemic conditions. A few days ago, I watched the fabulous premiere of the NCAC Camping Continues video series, a truly creative way to bring our council's celebration of a century of camping to you at home. If you haven't yet seen it, you can find it on Facebook on the National Capital Area BSA Facebook page. It is the ultimate example of the resilience and creativity of our youth, led by our Order of the Arrow Lodge Chief, Stefan, and the Camping Continues advisor, Charlie Brown. Charlie attributes his success at becoming an Eagle Scout thanks to his amazing and passionate den leaders from nearly 20 years ago because they encouraged him to keep going. In the words of Charlie Brown, during this pandemic, he tells us to find the resolve to go further, push harder, find the grit, and together strive to the higher ideals of Scouting. Let's learn from the lessons of 2020. We are stronger together. Camping continues and Scouting continues. As for the future, go outside. Find yourselves in the mountains. Seize the opportunity to plan your next adventure, whether it's here under the magnificent skies of Camp William B. Snyder, in the mountains of Goshen, on the wave-crashed Caribbean beaches of Camp Wall, or at any of our national treasures, Philmont, Florida Sea Base, Northern Tier, or the Summit. Reach out. Invite others, even those who don't yet know about Scouting. Invite them to join you on your next adventure. To recap, Scouting has been an important part of my family for 3 generations. I saw how Scouting had a positive impact on the life of my Eagle Scout son, his friends, the community, and beyond. I did my best to follow the examples of Scouters who went before me. I tried to be the best example I could be for others. So whether you serve at the unit level, district level, council level, or beyond, whether you serve as a Scout leader, advisor, commissioner, or board member, I challenge you to never stop being the best examples you can be and to invite others to grow through Scouting. On behalf of the Council, I thank each of you for giving your time and your talents to ensure the best program and training we can offer to develop our youth. Embrace the spirit of Ubuntu. I am because we are. Together, we are stronger.